Yeah, we will. It's taken me a long time to learn how to be a lot more empathetic around that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was saying this to someone the other day, how, you know how there's that thing where they say to you, I don't know if she's, I didn't read the Mel Robinson book, and I'm going to figure this was in there.
I actually just tried again yesterday.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to figure that this was in there. By the way, everyone, we are going to continue the conversation. This is episode 6, I think, of the You're the Hero podcast. This is Ariana.
Hello.
She's going to be the first one. We are going to have to talk up because guess who broke the microphones 2 seconds before we started? So if the audio sucks, we'll probably have to do this again another time.
Yeah.
So Ari is going to have to yell down the when she talks, or move closer. You might actually have to move closer, I reckon. So we're still doing it, even though it's not going to be perfect. It probably echoes and the audio might be bad. So I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about how, like, you know when everybody uses the same analogy when you get cut off in the car.
Oh, yeah,
and you're supposed to, when you get cut off in the car, be empathetic that person might have something major going on in their life.
Yeah.
And that's why you shouldn't get mad at them, because you can control the controllables and blah, 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 blah. It has taken me so long in my life to be like, fuck that guy, or nah, they're rude and they want to get in something. You know the reason why though? Is because I've always projected my judgments, because in that situation I would be cutting people off because I have somewhere to be faster that I think is more important than the person behind me.
Yeah.
So when in those sort of situations, I've started to realise, like, what are my projections in those moments that I'm projecting?
Yeah.
Because it's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
And I think what happens in the current society, and this is me sort of pivoting from we were talking about to more of an open-ended conversation, is I think that happens with girls a lot.
Yeah.
Where it's like, they're like, because we all know that girls get dressed up to go look good in public for other women, not for other men. But other men don't know that. We're always like, why do you want to look nice for other guys? They're not. They're trying to look like not a piece of shit. Yeah.
I just want to look good.
Yeah, they're trying to look like not a piece of shit around all the other women.
Yeah.
Because the intra-sexual competition is so much higher.
Yeah.
That they want to look good for that reason. Because they are going to be loyal to their partners out in public anyways. But as long as all the other hoes don't then try, they don't know what someone else is going to do.
Yeah.
So with that sort of, back to the marriage thing, it is when we project our views on those things, like, people who say marriage is just a piece of paper or stuff like that, it's because they kind of feel like that was the nature of that.
Yeah, but they're seeing everyone around them just throw it away really easily and like, that's it. So yeah, that's fine.
But that's loyalty in general.
Yeah. Where
everybody, I think that's the one thing that society 100% needs to change, is finding not finding the next best fucking thing all the time.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we have a problem with that in our culture. I think our culture at VSC, we don't see that very often. Obviously you see it every now and then, not in relationships. I was just saying this to the girls before. I said, from an outsider looking in, and I'm only saying what I see from the outside because, I'm sitting with 4 other women.
Yeah.
And I have zero idea what's going on behind the roof, under the roof of their house. So I'm probably being all like, you guys all look like you're perfectly happy in your marriages, and I've got zero, and then they're like, actually I'm separated from my partner.
Yeah.
Or some shit. I don't know. I'm hoping that that wasn't the case. But here you see that cultural fit, because they were saying how here it's so, they feel like it's very much an approachable environment.
Yeah.
That things are just so comfortable and relaxed. But I think it's because we all share that cultural thought and understanding
100%,
now.
100%, yeah.
Again, outsider looking in, you don't see infidelity here. You don't see I couldn't even tell you the last time I saw a divorce or a separation here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's been one. But again, you don't know.
We don't know.
There are a lot of people we don't know what's happening at home. But
yeah, but at the end of the day, they come in here and they're super happy and vibes are on, and it's just a good place to be. Like they're saying, it's very approachable to come in here.
Yeah, well, the last 2 months, all the new people that have come through have 100% been like, I don't know what it is, but people are just super comfortable to ask weird questions. And the girls were saying that earlier, and there was a new lady who joined, she came from another gym that was not one of these, it was a different, but she was like, it's so homely. And I was like, it's weird because we treat you like we've known you for so long, which we do that, right? We treat people like we know them so much. Or if we have a question, so we know that someone's got a problem. I think it was like yesterday with Michael, we were like, hey, you've been here, you've just done your 8th session, and it's all been squats. And he's like, oh.
Because I'm like, oh, it's a movement that we don't have to go over today.
Yeah, which then, you know, he's done literally 5 squat workouts because every day he's come, it always seems to be squat day. But, you know, we've known that guy for less than 3 weeks, and we're already having a little bit of a rip in, you know, in a polite manner about the fact that he's only ever squatted. You know, and then he'll find the humour in that.
Yeah, I feel like I want to get to know everyone, and so do you as well. Like, I think, like, the stuff that I found out about the people that actually come here is so insane. Like, finding out Gav's an accountant, but or what a wealth collective, but then also finding out he's a yoga teacher. I thought Rowan was a priest. Turns out he's a kid's physio. Like, I'm like just like throwing out all these things, and then like Ray and Teresa like owning the vineyard, and they've been here since 6 years.
Very early, maybe even the 7. I'll tell you a funny story about that too. I used to think that Ray was a pastor of a church because I thought Churchview was a church. I didn't know it was a vineyard, and someone had not even corrected me, and I said something about it, and they were like, Churchview, and I thought it was something like, you know, those mega churches, like a bit it seemed to me like Churchview made sense. And I didn't know it was a vineyard. This is like 2019 or something. I was like, so, you know, you're a pastor? And he goes, what? No. I was like, what do you mean? You've got, and all I knew then too was that he had 7 kids and he lived in Kawarama, or, you know,
like
it's all fitting. Turns out he actually just owns a vineyard. Is a Christian, goes to church, but not why he has 7 kids, or maybe it is, I don't know. But funny. It is funny how you make those assumptions, but we do genuinely try to find that shit out. And some people, I don't think will ever find that stuff out. Like Jacob being
what am I about to find out right now?
Well, first of all, he's from the Czech Republic. He's from Czechoslovakia. From Czech Republic. I thought he was French like everybody else.
Oh, I didn't realise. I thought he was Australian.
No, right. He looks like a surfer. Anyway, did a mentorship under a guy who has a uni degree in handstands. You know why he does freestanding handstands? Yeah. Because he is trained to do freestanding handstands. Like, fully trained, not pretend trained. Like,
he's fully. I need tips.
Fully.
Jacob, if you're watching this, I need all the tips.
Fully all in on it. So we're talking, and then
full degree, and he did a mentorship under the guy.
So this guy went to uni, and you can do circus performance in the Czech Republic.
Oh my god!
It's either Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia. I think it's Czech Republic, but again, whichever one is in that Eastern European bloc.
Yeah.
We have way too many Eastern Europeans here too. But yeah, so you can do. Did you know that? I didn't know that. You can do circus studies at school.
I thought he was a calisthenic person coming in.
Yeah. So he did do that, but yes, turns out he fully is.
Wow.
Also used to own a magazine, a surf magazine in the Czech Republic. Didn't even know they had waves there.
Yeah, but the conversations, the conversations that we have here, I feel like once you're in, because like the girls, like they have their little group now and they go every Friday and get coffee. Tomorrow it's a sauna. Like that wouldn't happen if people were open to having conversations instead of just coming and working out, you know?
Yeah, and that's where what we were talking about before, where now they're having the conversation about what's next. It's not about what they look like, it's about how are they feeling, what's their performance look like.
Yeah.
You know, to even be thinking about now protein powders and creatines, not because, you know, they're like, what does it mean? Like we were talking about it back there, because, you know, they're asking me about what is it about this menopause thing that I'm all tied up about. And I'm like, well, it's actually, what I found interesting was that menopause leads to dementia, but creatine and creatine helps decrease dementia.
Yeah, I saw that the other day actually.
Yeah, so it's like, well, where are all these links coming from that we're missing, that 45 to 55-year-old women are missing, that we can fix, not so that they live longer, look sexier and become cougars, but so that they're like, you know, I wouldn't want to be 50 years old in a position, or actually I don't want to be even as a male at 50 years old in a position where I feel confused.
Yeah. What
and
am
it's
I doing wrong?
But it's hormonal.
It's your body.
There's all these things happening that can be fixed some way therapeutically.
Yeah.
If we could just find that out, we're going to see a lot less.
Mate, you're going to break barriers.
Well, that's what I was saying to the girls. Like, it's funny because they're talking about HRT for women, right? Like, HRT for women is normal. I don't know if you're, like, hormone replacement therapy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if your mum was doing it. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember her and Suze having the conversation about menopause and stuff like. I mean, fucking hell, she was definitely. Your mum was 52, so she was in that menopausal stage. So they would have been having that conversation. And I know of people who, like, so hormone replacement therapy is where with women they go in and they do estrogen.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But for men, that has to be testosterone.
Yeah.
But as soon as you say that it's testosterone, everyone's like, you're doing steroids.
Yeah, you're on.
How's the stigma behind that? And I get it, but if you're 45 years old feeling lost because you've worked, I don't know, you work shift work or you don't see the sun, you drink too much on the weekends, you don't get enough protein, you eat like dog shit, so your testosterone is going to be tanked.
Yeah.
And the suicidality rate of men at 45 is ridiculously high. So if we're seeing that, but yet we can fix that through exercise, creatine, protein, a little bit of testosterone.
Yeah. How does that...
And we can save marriages because now you've got men and women who once upon a time when their hormones were all balanced, loved each other.
Yeah.
We don't have to start all over again. Imagine being, 50 years old and getting divorced because you fell out of love with somebody, having to go live like you're a teenager again. Crazy.
We'll figure it out.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Or at least give it a red hot crack. But I think we do see that anyways. I think we're seeing that psychologically and culturally. We're seeing that the norm.
Yeah.
Which I do think comes from me and mine and Maddie's views on those things. Yours, like you were saying. All of our coaches, except Vilsey, but he's getting there. All of our coaches see loyalty in relationships as a high priority.
Yeah, 100%.
Vilsey's just got a new girlfriend, just so everybody knows that's.
But
he's not going anywhere. We're calling. I reckon they'll be married before Ari and Tynan.
Yeah, probably.
Before Jack and Steph.
Pillay and Tom are already done.
Pillay and Tom are already married, so they're out. Well, they're not out. They're in.
Yeah.
But you also see that with like the importance of raising kids into it. I think that culturally is what we're seeing. So I think that has a very strong bearing. And then if we can just help those who are, I need to stop playing with these. I'm meant to be videoing. Sorry. So we've got bad audio and me playing with the clips. So I do apologise. Where else are we going to go with that? Workouts. Actually, this one. No.
You can ask it.
No, I was just going to say, how have you found the programming lately?
Hard.
Yeah.
Is this because after we did, what competition did we just do? Not the village?
No, Affinity, we were all cooked.
Okay.
We shouldn't have done Affinity.
Oh my God.
Affinity came around, I think, probably a month too late for where we were all at after. Like, we'd all put so much work into, I think we didn't quite peak for Village. And then we had to get through the Open.
Yeah.
And then we did Down South Fitness Championships, which was fine. That was good. And I don't think that just tired everybody out. I just think it made it a long season.
I don't know. This past 3 weeks have just been hard. I'm finding everything hard. I mean, I'm still here 5 days a week, but everything feels heavy. But it's been fun.
I've been feeling...
This morning was fun.
Yeah, and personally, I've been feeling like there's been goals inside of workouts that seem to pop up at the right spots.
Yeah.
Particularly Tuesday's EMOM, where you got 6 unbroken muscle ups, right? Like, you
Times
do
3.
the work. Yeah, you do the work,
Yeah.
but, then what happened with your handstand push-ups? You were getting 10s or 12s as well, weren't you?
I was getting like 8s. I don't know. I've done something to my elbow. But
it's contagious. It's so
the elbow. No, it was the rope climbs, like the 12 rope climbs, like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened, but yeah, I don't know. It just feel like last week my muscle ups were dog shit, and then I was just like not putting any pressure on myself. And then the EMON, I was like, I'm going to hit my goal, do the 6 unbroken, see how the handstands feel. And one thing paid off, but the other thing didn't. So, yeah, but like today, I was like, I just want to stay in front of Nick, and he was so close to me in the 4th round. I was like, I'm going to push these sled pushes, I'm going to push the wall balls. I've got it in the tank, and yeah, the ab mat sit-ups were just.
Did you go broken in all your wall balls?
No, I went 20, 20, 10, then 10s. But like for me to not even break that much in a wall ball is like a huge, like already a big win for me, because I'm like mental, like, oh, take a break, take a step back. But today I was like, pick it up. So, yeah. No, it was good fun. I'm keen for tomorrow. That's a heavy snatch for me. 43 kilos.
Yeah, I've got to work out and see if it's. It should be continue on. So hopefully every 3 minutes is continue on. I haven't looked into it either. I've got to write the board later.
Yeah.
It was even like the extras today. They're like, "What's this?" I was like, "I don't know, man. I wrote this on Friday, and I thought I'd done all the extra videos to go with it, and apparently I hadn't."
Oh, you're too organised.
Yeah, I was too organised last week, and then I was so not organised this week. Like, anyway, programming we've done today, so it'll be fine. I'll fix it. But we've definitely been on a good rotation. I think the members too are really starting to notice a lot of the cleaning up of, so like the rehab stuff and the prehab stuff, like the Bulgarian split squats, and the extra training on positions and those other bits and pieces, which is going to carry through the whole of the winter anyway. Yeah. So that we actually have a solid foundation from the bottom. Yeah. I think if there's anything that I want anyone to take away from everything that we're doing, it's really to build that solid foundation, which is not unusual, it's not uncommon. I'm not saying that we're the only place in the whole wide world doing this, because that's not true. But we are definitely putting a huge focus on prehab, rehab, skill development. You know, we did the blog post the other day about the Learn, Build, Execute, which for the record, I can't believe how many people didn't know that. I did not know that. Well, that's clearly my fault, because I'm just like, everybody knows. Turns out nobody knew. So that was something that needed to be resolved. It does make sense, but to be a business that's built around education, and then it's like, I didn't know we were built around education. It's like, well, that's a butchering of a... Yeah. Everyone can go, fitness, community, knowledge, faith and time. Yeah, which is great. And then it's like, what's LBE?
Yeah, I'd be like, the LBE today is, but literally having no idea what the fuck LBE is. And then like now I get like having execute at the end as well, like aim for this, do it, like get it done, execute it. Like this is what he set out to do, like wants us to do, actually like follow through with it. Yeah, helpful, right? It's something I should have picked up. But I kind of took it a little bit less, as in like, oh, the LBE, the aim. That's what I was kind of like. Yeah. Oh, this is what we need to do. Yeah. No. Or like when you look at today, it's like, well, the learn's going to be the stay smooth and composed, and then the build is like, if you need to aim for 6-minute rounds. If you're not, you need to scale this back. Like, you can't be, kicking around on this for 9 minutes. Which, for the record, I wouldn't want to be doing the run, wall balls, box pushes and mat sit-ups for 9 minutes. That would not be a fun. Yeah, well, I came in the door at like 9 minutes, and I was like, okay, for the second round, and I was like, or maybe I'd finished on the second round on 9 minutes, and I was like, all right, sick, I am going to finish this in a 37 minutes for sure. But those sled pushes got so hectic, the leg burn was insane. How much heavier is this compared to high rock shit that they do? No, it's not. It's been way lighter. This is way lighter. I think the high rock sled that we had to do last year was like 152. I wouldn't even be 150. Nah, but it's on Astro too, like some carpet sort of thing, and the sled is more specifically to aim to push. Yeah, and it's only 80 meters. That's all you do? Yeah, so it's 10 meter increments. So that you can split up between female and male. Yeah, if you do mixed pairs, yeah. Okay. But it's like, it's actually not that hard. It's hard to move it, but it's not that hard to get the 80 meters done. And it's, again, I was saying this today, if when I redo this whole place up properly, I'm 100% just astroturfing the floor. Because I think sleds are going to have a huge contribution in the future, not because of high rocks. Yeah. I think what you're going to see now is sleds have a benefit. Like, I'd like to have a sled track for when people can't squat. Yeah. Like your beginners, I just wrote a program for a guy, and his mobility and his squats was so bad that I was like, I can't program you squats. Yeah. Which could be the case, like, you might even find like the bodybuilders up on the mine sites can't actually squat.
I can't fix that because I don't see them. I just write the program for them.
Yeah.
But, you know, something like a sled push and a sled drag to prepare yourself to be able to open up for the squats. Like, you could end up with a way stronger leg muscle from doing sleds to then once you start actually back squatting or front squatting, you can actually move that weight properly.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see sleds become more and more popular. And if I could do it again or restart, I would definitely get sled tracks.
Yeah.
And I would get sleds that we could use in classes on a more regular basis.
Yeah, you've got another room.
I know. And the guy next door just signed another 1-year lease, so he's not going anywhere.
Which guy next door? Nah.
Mitch next door.
Oh, as in to expand. That'd be fucking sick.
That would be sick. But maybe we'll build our own shed. I don't know. At this rate, we are just making sure that we continue to grow and develop and learn and build and execute. But I think we're pretty much there with most of what we've needed to do for the last couple of years. But we'll just continue to keep developing.
It's been great. It's like being here is like the best thing I've ever done. Actually, yeah, it actually has been the best thing I've ever done. Like, and the fact that I was like not gonna come, and then I was just like one day I was like, I think I messaged you and I came just before I was going on holiday, and I was like, oh, what's even the point? And I came. I saw Vanessa, what's her Lululemon girl? I don't.
Oh yeah.
Doing muscle ups and toe to bars, and I was just like, I want to be her one day. I want to fucking be.
Oh, was this 2020 when you joined?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant coaching. I was like, oh.
No. Like, it just, no, joining has been like the best thing ever. And like, I've learned like as a person, like lost friendships from coming here, which makes no sense, but good riddance on that one. But in general, like just being here is, I like the conversations that I have with Cam and Shannon or anyone else in my day from here, like profit my life way more than the people that I thought were my friends back in the day. So like this community, the gym has like gotten me through some of the toughest times, and yeah, that's this year as well.
Well, yeah, that was going to be my next question before we start to wrap it up, because we won't take up too much of everyone else's time. But like, how's your transition been from member to now coaching? Because like, in my opinion, your coaching is actually really high level, and I think everyone would agree.
That's good.
And I think it's because your care factor differs from beyond yourself, and I don't know where that comes from, because you can see in a coach when it's all about their experience that they're doing, when you forfeit that, and I think you do this really well, is you forfeit it's about me to it's about them.
Yeah.
But not in a way where it's like minor shit, it's just like it's all about, will these people have the best day if we do that? And I think that to me, like, that's my view on coaching now.
Yeah.
When I first became a coach, it was really average. It was always about me winning, me being the best, me being the top dog, me committing my life to making them better because I'd committed myself. And it's like, now, obviously I've been doing this for so long, and I think because culturally, you would have learned that. That it's not about that. Yeah. Maybe through the fact that, like, your introductions were like making sure that your mum liked it. Yeah. Her friends enjoyed it too. And then losing friends where it's all like, well, look, fuck, this, this does make people better. I'm putting words in your mouth, but.
No, it's been great. The only thing that I was stressed about, like, the whole time, like, the coaching, I remember the first day, I was like, I'll bring a pen and a paper and I'll write everything down. You're like, no, you'll be fine, just learn off me. And that's exactly what I've done. I've literally just been your little, not robot, but I pick up on every single word that you say, was the public speaking. And now that, like, when the members come in the door in the morning and I'm like, good morning, blah, 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 like making eye contact, looking at everyone, I'm like, all I want is for them to have a good day. That's why I do think like music is important and like switching it up with them and stuff like that. But like, I think one day you were working out next to Nick or someone and they like, I screamed because I was so happy for them. I like squealed because I was like, oh my God, they just got that bit that they wanted and they've been waiting for 6 months. Like, that shit just makes me happy and like makes my day. So I'm just like, it's been great. I know how I felt when I got my first muscle up foot. So for who was it, Joy the other day, or Ange, to get her foot, like her toe to bar, I was like, that is sick. And and you can tell that the past 12 months have paid off. What's the next 12 months going to look like? Because it's only up from here, literally. The more effort, coming every day, 5 days a week, working out for an hour, taking care of yourself, taking the protein, creatine, having a couple of fit aids. it all pays off. I love it. And I love everyone here.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, right? Like, yeah, is actually, I think that's what, to go full circle back to where we started, I think that's what people are starting to see.
Yeah, 100%.
That we love them.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's that we love them and we want to see the best of what's happening for them.
Yeah.
Not VSC.
Yeah.
Not my bottom line, my dollars, my money. It's like, what can we do to give them a good experience so that they have a great life?
Yeah, and even if they've had a shit day from 9 to 4, when they walk in here at 4 o'clock, all right, I'm going to play some rippers songs, I'm going to hype them up, I'm going to make maybe their squat depth better, or we're going to get their legs a bit higher on a leg raise or something like that, and they're going to walk away at 5 p.m. going, I really put in effort today and I did what I could do, and then they start again the next day. But I honestly think, like, no matter how you start your day, like I start my day here earlier, but if you're doing a 5 p.m. or a 9:15, how can I change the effect on my day to make it a better day? And I think coming here does that. Like, I think it alters your day to have a better day. I've never walked out of here and gone, that was shit, I don't want to come back. I actually
had bad training days, but that is not the answer after the bad training day. Yeah.
No, never. Like, yes, the workouts are hard, but like feeling how powerful your body can be is like insane. Like, oh shit, I did that. Like, there was a week where I was like, oh, I'm not picking up that dumbbell, I can't do that, and then I did it through the whole entire workout. My mind was telling me no, but my body was like 100%. You can lift this shit. So that's the end goal.
Perfect. All right, we're going to leave it there. That was a good conversation. Thank you very much.
See you guys
Yeah,
tomorrow.
hopefully you can hear all this. If not, we're going to have to do it again.
Yeah, on a complete other
That's
topic.
right. Yeah. All right. Oh.